You were the strong one, the reliable one, the one people leaned on, in your friend group, your family, at work. You gave direction, took responsibility, held it together when things fell apart. You were always the leader. So why do you feel so lost now? Why are you the one who can't make decisions? Why are you overwhelmed by the basics? Why does everything suddenly feel foggy? What happened to the person everyone could count on? Let's talk about it. Being the leader has a cost no one sees. When you're the leader type, people admire your clarity, your energy, your ability to handle it all. But what they don't see is what it costs you. They don't see the pressure, the constant mental load, the weight of being the one who's supposed to be fine. So you don't crack. You carry it. You smile through it. You figure it out, because that's what leaders do, right? But eventually, something inside you starts to shift. You stop feeling clear. You stop feeling motivated. And suddenly, you're the one who doesn't know what to do. If that already resonates, pause and hit like. This is the part no one talks about. You gave all your clarity away. The reason you feel lost now might not be because you lack clarity, but because you spent years giving it to everyone else. You helped them make decisions. You gave them advice. You cleaned up messes. You took the lead, even when you didn't want to. But leadership without boundaries becomes self-erasure. And somewhere along the way, you lost connection to what you want, what you need, who you are. Now there's a fog, a numbness, a quiet voice asking, if I'm not helping someone, do I even know how to help myself? You were never taught how to receive. Leaders are good at giving, at solving, at holding space. But most leaders suck at receiving, at being supported, at being vulnerable, at saying, I don't know. So what do you do when you're the one in need? You shut down, you isolate, you pretend you're fine, because being lost feels like weakness, and you were never allowed to be weak. But let me say this clearly. Feeling lost doesn't make you less of a leader. It makes you human. And if you don't allow yourself to be human, you'll burn out trying to be invincible. You outgrew the role they gave you. Sometimes the reason you feel lost is because the identity you built no longer fits. You were the leader in that context, that group, that season of life. But now, you've changed. Your needs have changed. Your values are shifting. And the role you once filled so naturally now feels like a costume. That's not failure. That's growth. The person you were isn't gone. They're just evolving. And it's scary because there's no script for who comes next. But that's the work, to stop being the person they needed you to be and start becoming who you actually are. You never had space to pause. Leadership rewards momentum. People look to you for answers, so you keep moving, keep producing, keep pretending you know what you're doing. But clarity doesn't come from motion. It comes from stillness. If you never stop to listen to yourself, you can't expect to know where to go next. You're not lost because you're broken. You're lost because you've never had the space to hear your own voice. So what now? How do you get your clarity back? How do you move forward when you don't even know what you want anymore? Let's make this practical. 1. Let yourself grieve the version of you that always had answers. That person served you. They kept you safe. They helped you lead. But now, you need something different. Grieve the invincible version. Make space for a wiser one. 2. Let go of usefulness as your identity. You are more than what you can offer others. You don't need to earn rest, love, or clarity by being helpful. Your worth doesn't disappear when your output slows down. 3. Ask, if no one needed me, what would I still choose? This is one of the most confronting and clarifying questions you can ask. If you stripped away the roles, the expectations, the praise, what would you do with your time? Where would you go? What would actually matter? Start there. 4. Schedule silence, not rest, silence. Don't just stop working, stop filling. No input, no podcasts, no advice videos. Just sit. Let the static settle. It's uncomfortable, but underneath it is your real voice. 5. Tell someone the truth. Pick one person and say it. I don't have it together right now. Not because they can fix it, but because saying it out loud is how you release the pressure to pretend. You don't need answers. You need honesty. 6. Create before you consume. Start each day with one small act of expression. Write, sketch, speak something out loud. You've spent years reacting. Now it's time to originate, to rediscover your voice. 7. Redefine what leadership means now. You're not the same person, so don't lead the same way. Maybe leadership today means setting boundaries, saying no, letting others solve their own problems, leading yourself before others. You still lead, but from a place of presence, not pressure. Final thoughts. You were always the leader, but that doesn't mean you have to have it all together forever. Maybe this season isn't about direction. Maybe it's about reconnection, not to tasks, not to roles, but to yourself. You haven't failed. You've just paused. And in that pause is the space to become something new. So if this video helped you feel seen, hit like. It tells the algorithm that this kind of honesty matters. And if you want more content like this, subscribe. We make videos for the people holding it together and finally ready to put themselves back at the center. You're not lost, you're just returning. See you in the next one.